Om Sri Sai Nadhaya Namaha.
Om Sri Sai Amrutha Namaha.
Om Sri Sai Parabrahmane Namaha.
Om Sri Sai Parabrahmane Namaha.
Our Sai's name is so pure, and by reciting the Sai's name, I think some of you need to put it in the mute, everybody. So Sai's name is so pure, and just by chanting the name, or just by looking at him, or in his presence, really that will bring us peace of mind. Sai has such a power. The presence of Sai will make us go through any difficulties in our lives. At this time, the world is going through so much struggle, so much difficulty with the coronavirus. It's called COVID-19. And some of us are more personally affected by this, but a lot of us watching everything what is going on around us, and at the same time we're all turning to the God, turning to Sai to do everything that a devotee can do, so that we empower this world, we bring this peace to people in the world. So we are so proud of all the Sai devotees and all the devotees of God throughout the world who are contributing to this peace through God. Like Baba always used to say, God is great, Allah Malik. So at these times of difficulty, we all need to turn to God and pray definitely for everybody's safety. And we've been doing that. Today, what we're going to do is we will try to learn Baba's words, because this is the time that we all need to remember what Baba used to say. I think you guys have to put it in mute, please. Otherwise, everybody's going to repeat. It's going to repeat. Please put your phones in mute. So, it's very important that we need to remember Sai's words. Usually, gurus always speak and teach us, but what happens is sometimes they're very deep when they talk. Like they talk like Isvara. The same thing happened in Bhagavad Gita also, when Lord Sri Krishna talks like Bhagavan. We call Bhagavan Vacha in Bhagavad Gita, because he was not talking like a Lord Sri Krishna at that time, but he was speaking as Bhagavan, that means Paramatma. In the same way, when we read Sai Satcharita, there are some words that were given to us by Baba which are so special, and that's why we call them Sai Amrutha Vani. They are like nectar of knowledge. So today, that's what we're going to emphasize, because if we understand the deeper meanings of those words, it will protect us much better. That will give us the inner strength, so that our inner core will become strong to face any adversity, to face any difficulty, to face any consequences that our families and world go through. So let's go through those kind of nectars of words, nectar of words today by Sai, that is Sai Amrutha Vani. Sai is like, sometimes he used to say that he is like a Ma, Parasakti. What is Parasakti means? Whatever is beyond all the gunas, it's called Gunatita. We always read in some stotras, beyond Sattva, Raja, Tamo gunas. That is called the Parasakti. That is the Para power. When this supreme energy, along with these three characters, takes a form, then we give a name to it. Why Sai's teachings are essential to our life, why they make us walk in a correct path, we have to question ourselves, and then we will get the answers in the form of Sai Amrutavani. Let us go through one by one, at least 3-4 of them today. And I'm going to read the words, what Sai said. When these words recited by Sai, he's not telling like a Guru Sai like that as a person. He's telling us like a Paramatma. That's why these words are very important. Wherever you are and whatever you may be doing, always bear it in mind that I shall continue to be informed of the minutest details of your deeds. In this manner, as I am described, I dwell in the minds of all. I am in the hearts of all pervading. These are the beautiful nectar-like words told us by Sai. Sometimes, we forget that Baba is watching us. He can protect us. We all believe in Sai. We all worship Sai. It is the same with any God or any Guru. But we are like human. It's tough when difficulties come around and then we are suffering. That's why Sai is saying all this, that I dwell in your minds. I am in your hearts. I'm all pervading. So I know your difficulties. I will protect you. That is the assurance he is giving us. So when we go through the difficult situations in our life, we lose our patience quickly and get very anxious about those situations. Here, we have to make sure that we show faith in Baba and wait until Baba helps us. This is very important. This is called saburi. We have to have faith and we have to wait until Baba helps us, because what we think good for us may not be good for us. Maybe we have to go through some karma. Maybe we have to suffer a little bit so that we don't have to suffer too much in the future. So Baba knows everything about us. So we have to be careful about that. Baba knows that, and he wants us to go through certain difficulties sometimes. Sometimes it's better to go through those difficulties, like I was saying before. We should not be thinking in a negative way. Why this happened to me? Why I'm going through this? Why Baba is not protecting me? We shouldn't be thinking like that. Okay? Because he's in our hearts. He knows everything. If we believe in Baba, we do not have to ask him anything. He knows everything. And we are his complete responsibility. We have to remember that. So the next thing, the next Amrutavani, Baba said, is, I am the Lord of all. I fill the entire creation within and without to the point of overflowing. This universe is directed by me, and I am the one who holds the reins. If you read Sacharita, you remember these words. Here, his assurance comes, not only you're going to have faith in me, you're going to show patience, but you also have to believe in your soul, with your soul, that I am the Lord of all. I am the entire creation. I am everywhere. Like that, he is reassuring us. So, what does it mean? He's saying that we need to surrender completely to him and to be in that state. When we have love for Baba, we may be showing bhakti. Okay? It's just a devotion. But what happens is, if we love Baba unconditionally, then it is called bhakti yoga. Okay? We don't need to do separately anything. We just have to love him for just like that. And then unconditionally, so that we surrender completely to Baba. That is bhakti yoga towards Baba. At this time, when you do that, you leave everything to Baba. Like we always talk about, if he comes as a guru into your life, he will look after everything for you. Not only in this life, we're talking about the next lives, any lives that you take, whether you take Janma as any animal or anything, he will protect us. We've seen in Sacharita how, as a snake, as a frog, when they came around, and then when they came as goats, he knows. He will protect us no matter where we are, in which condition we are in. So that's why the next word he says is that I am the mother of all beings. He is the Parasekti. Ma Sekti is pure love. She guards her children and protects from so many things. Mother has to give what is good for the child, even if it is slightly bitter sometimes. She will feed you because that's the good thing for you. That's in a similar way. Baba also makes sure that he taught his devotees by making them go through certain difficulties, certain hardships sometimes. He knows how much you can tolerate, how much you can afford to suffer. So at that time, he will rescue us. He will rescue from those difficulties. He knows what is best for us. So that's why he is the mother of all beings. He is the Parasekti. The next word, Amrutavani, he says is, I am the equilibrium of three gunas. I promote the activities of the senses. I am the creator, preserver, destroyer. One who concentrates on me, for him nothing is difficult. But the moment he forgets me, Maya will attack him. This is the Bhagavan also says that. Whoever is in that Parasekti mode, Bhagavan mode, Paramatma mode, they speak like that. All the gurus, when they go into that state, they are Bhagavan, they are Parasekti. Okay, that's why Baba said these words. Baba taught here the greatest truth just by simple words. That's why in Arati also we read Sada Saswarupam Chidananda Kandam, right? In a similar way, that represents this one. This Trigunas we talked about, the senses, the creation, preservership and destroyership, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheswara, all those things are in Baba. Baba lived like us to show us the experience of all the emotions in Shirdi. And people saw him with all the characters of a human being can experience. People sometimes could have misunderstood him being mad or emotional. But he always stayed in this truth, this Sachidananda Sthiti. He was omnipresent, omniscient also. He is everywhere. He showed all the qualities of the God. He was also Nirguna, in that Nirguna state. Sada Saswarupam. Okay? Chidananda Kandam. He also emphasized the importance of the Maya and how it can influence us. The only solution is to keep in touch with your Guru. Never lose patience. That's why he's saying, whoever forgets me, Maya will attack him. So we have to be careful with that. So next Amrutavani we're going to speak is, these are the words. whatever is perceived is my image only, whether it is a worm, an ant, a poor wretch, or a king. The immeasurable universe consisting of mobile and immobile things, these are all my own image. This is also Baba emphasized very much as a Paramatma. Here, Baba wants us to understand the God's existence. Sometimes we forget that God is in each kan and kan, okay? Every atom. We forget that. It is not just the forms or the deities that we worship, okay? It's not just when we're sitting there. Baba is everywhere. Sai is an embodiment of all the godly characters. He himself is a perfection. Sai wanted us to see him and worship him as a Nirguna Rupa, because Nirguna means it's not like a formless. Nirguna means it is like entire creation in everything. When we are able to see God in everything, then it is called Nirguna. Okay, but sometimes it's difficult for us to see that way. That's why he said, if you can't do that, you can worship me as this in this body, that Saguna Rupa. That's why we worship deities in the form of pictures, in the form of the deities that we have. So here, what does he really mean? For this, we need to understand what guna means. Nirguna, we're saying. What is guna means? Original meaning in Sanskrit is that's inherent nature. What is our inner core that is what the inherent nature is. That is called guna. We learn to see these gunas in different ways. The sattva, rajo, tamo gunas are mixed in various combinations. We see sometimes we are with sattva guna, sometimes rajo, tamo guna, some other times. And then our personalities are combinations of this. So Sai wanted to emphasize this. And to understand all those things, we need to understand two things. That's the mantra that Baba gave. One is the faith, that is the belief. Once we believe, we need patience to materialize that. That's why he said patience is the important thing. And this applies perfectly in our daily life. To easily remember this Amrutha Vani, to be careful about these gunas, because a lot of times we're in bhakti mode, we are very peaceful, but what happens is all the worldly things come and disturb us. But still, we could be fine if we remember these words taught by Baba. For example, we take milk. Okay, milk is so pure and untainted. So then what you do is, if you add a little bit of water, that's few drops, that's not going to change that much the way the milk looks. We cannot detect those few drops of the milk that we put in. Okay? That is like sattva guna. If we add more water into it, still milk is milk. We cannot still detect the water. If we mix more and more in water, one might say that the milk is diluted. Because even though, the milk is like God, okay? Milk is Paramatma. And then we are adding these sattva, rajo, tamo gunas to dilute ourselves, to dilute our personalities. When you are in sattva guna, when you hear Baba, when you take him as a guru, when you worship him, you are in that sattva guna. So you are going to be like looking like a milk. Okay? You're going to be peaceful. When this rajoguna and tamoguna comes into picture, then people look at it and then say, hey, water is mixed in this. So they can see your personality. That means you are disturbed. You are suffering. So in our lives, we originally have milk in the form of God, soul, the truth, the Satchidananda. So what we are doing is basically we are adding too much of these three gunas. So, like that, we have to remember, we have to realize all these obstructive qualities which are hindering our faith, which are hindering our happiness and blocking us from reaching our goals of life and our destiny. Sai taught us love and honesty, faith, patience, humbleness, and then we have to be truthful in our behavior and our service. We should not get carried away by these worldly activities and then get disturbed all the time. If we take Sai Satcharita and devotees' experiences, we can see different angles where Baba tried to bring changes to their lives. And like the similar way, he is bringing a lot of changes in our lives. Sometimes we stray, we deviate, but he pulls us strongly. He will bring us back by giving certain difficulties or that you can tolerate, and then brings you back to the original track. He wanted to change the way we behave, and he wants to change the patterns and habits that we exhibit sometimes. Why he has to do this? Why Baba is so loving? This is very essential. He wanted us to experience our own nature, that is pure bliss. If we deviate from our own nature, we suffer. This is nothing but Maya. And the reason why we deviate is because of Maya. We're always presented with some choices in our lives. We have to assess them. And if we deviate, we need to get back to our original nature. We cannot get tempted by the worldly things like Rajoguna and Tamoguna. If we experience pain in our lives, we have to visualize, we have to see what qualities are disturbing us. What is the thing that disturbs us? What kind of thinking that makes us deviate from these Sattvaguna and the inner core? Just by understanding this, suffering will ease. Suffering will ease. Milk is always milk, like I was telling you, no matter how much water we add. Our saints, if you remember, we call them Paramahamsas, because the swan that can separate water from the milk. Like that, Baba also is Paramahamsa. He is Paramatma. That's why he was able to tease those gunas from all of us and then take us to that level where he wants us to go. So we have to be careful like that, and then worship Sai for what he is. Not ask him a lot of things, worldly things. He knows what is best for us. He knows what is good for us, because he knows our future, he knows our past, he knows what's going to happen now. Depending on our gunas, our characters, past impressions that we have, and past karmas, past deeds, and our spiritual inclination. If we like Lord Krishna, he will make us grow in that. If we like Shankara, he will protect us like that. He will take us forward. Like that, whatever religion you are, whatever God you worship, he will take you forward. But if you worship Sai as he is, then there is no limit there. Sky is the limit. It's infinite. So sometimes we want to worship everybody, but it's once you found your guru, it's better to stick with guru and go deeper and deeper so that we can eliminate these three gunas. That's why people saw him as Lord Rama, Hanuman, Datta, Krishna, Vittal, like that. Any form that he showed it to his devotees was only that reason, because he wanted them to slowly change from Saguna to Nirguna and take us to that level. When you are without these three gunas, you don't suffer that much. So all he wanted to do is he wanted us to change our character, our personality, so that we become our own inner nature. All forms, names are in him. And Mahalsapati called him by name Sai. He himself never had any name. I mean, we saw so many gurus come, so many people come, saints. They have their own, like a life story and all that. Whereas with Baba, he was in that nirguna state. He never had any birth. He never had any name. The people called him by Sai Baba, and he went by that name. That is the difference between our Guru, and we have to remember that he was able to love everyone. There were no enemies. He wanted us to see him in animals also, living, non-living things. That's why he said that those words that I was reciting before as Amrutha Vani. He even gave darshan as nirguna to one of the devotees because that bhakta was worshipping him as nirguna. So it's like you can see any form in Sai, any deity in Sai, any person in Sai, any living, non-living being in Sai. So in this time of difficulty, we have to see what is the best thing for us. And we go forward from here with the strength, with the patience, with the faith that we have. We all have that. So with that, we will go forward. We face any adversity, we face any difficulty. Sai is everywhere. He is that universal energy beyond all the characters. With that, we will conclude our satsang today. Om Sri Sai Ram. Om Sri Sai Nadhaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Parabrahmane Namaha. Om Sri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai.